For the archive, I'm looking at the papers of Jack Harris, who's a behind-the-scenes photographer in the Hollywood studio era, and just kind of suss out what his role is in production. Still photographers are generally invisible labor, so that's kind of what I'm looking at, and figuring out what exactly their role was, and how they operated within the machinery of cinema. His role is rather to be invisible. And one writer said that that generally no one on the set knows the still man's last name, and some people consider the still man to be a nuisance because what they do is that they take production photos, usually in between scenes or when a scene is finished and the rest of the crew wants to shut down, and so they're the people saying, hold on, let me take a few pictures. And so a lot of times they have that sort of frustrating relationship with the actors or the crew who wants to break down the sets. They're part documenters, a lot of the portraits that they take on set become some of the most famous images of stars that we know, because we have this idea that to reveal something like that would be to demystify Hollywood, but I think it actually makes it more overwhelming for the audience and makes it more kind of enticing to go see the production. They're there to document the production, but also things like training. There's a really great collection of photos from Kid Galahad, which is an Elvis boxing movie, and just page after page after page of him training to be a boxer. Which I think is interesting. It tells you that the studio wants the public to know that he underwent this rigorous training. What's interesting about the still man, or at least Jack Harris, is that he never marks his script, which is telling even of itself. You know, what exactly his function was within the system. It looks like it was more simply to document and not to take part in the sort of writing process. And then other collections, The Great Escape, another big film for him, has 3 boxes, and that took me an entire week to get through. Initially, just because I wasn't sure how much I could cover, I thought, let me just do the collaboration with Billy Wilder. And it only took me a couple weeks to get through that, and I've kind of been expanding out and out since then.